Howdy folks, here we are at the cresting station. We're going to start part 3 of this video, and that is actually doing the cresting on these arrows that we're building. This is a spin right cresting lathe. It's been well used. I've used the heck out of it, and then normally I want to do my cresting in this area here, but the way I'm putting the crest on these arrows, it calls for a little bit of redneck ingenuity. This is one of my cresting patterns, and here's the other one over here. So I've got a lot of the arrow extended out past what holds the arrow in place and spins the arrow. So what I've had to do is I've moved my spring down this way, and I've installed a rubber band to put over here on the handle to give me enough pressure to spin the I got it in a bad spot there, to actually spin the arrow as we do the cresting. And I kind of got it set up here so we can do all this at one time. I'll show you the whole cresting pattern at one time on 3 different actual shafts. We're going to start with this one here that doesn't have anything on it. And we're going to put it in the lathe, and you'll tell real quick how straight an arrow is when you put it in this lathe. If it wobbles, we'll know it immediately. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to put a layer of white underneath all of this, because I want these other 2 colors, this green and this orange, to really stand out brightly. So I go ahead and lay down a layer of white first. So that's what we're going to do here. We're going to turn it on to spin. Oh, that arrow spins pretty doggone good for a wood arrow. Another thing you have with wood arrows too is they're not smooth all the way along sometimes. They'll have a flat spot and you'll get some bumping in them, so we might see one of these other shafts like that. And we're going to get some white on this big brush because I'm going to be covering a big area, so I'm going to use a big brush to do this. And we'll put a good layer down here in between these lines. Just like so. I kind of try to work both ends to the middle and make it look good. Then we're going to move down here and do the same thing down here on this end crest down here. Like so. Get a little more. Work this one here into the middle. Alright, there's our first coat of white. Now, I'm going to turn that off. I'll clean my brush real quick. Wipe my brush off. These are watercolors I'm using. They're the I do use some acrylics every now and then. That's what these are. It depends on what I'm trying to do, but I'm using watercolors today. The paints in the bigger jugs there are the airbrush watercolors, and then I also use this Citadel watercolor too. So now we're going to take this one off, and we're going to take it over here and hang it up, because that white paint's got to dry for 2 hours. And then we're going to come back over here, and I just happen to have one over here that already has the white paint that's dried. I actually did them yesterday evening. So we're going to put them in. Put the big brush up. Whoop. Hit the camera on the light. Sorry about that. Put the big brush up and get a smaller brush. I'll go ahead and put that back in there. And I want to wet my brush a little bit. And I'll turn it on. Oh, look how nice and thing's smooth. Almost no wobble or anything in it. So the first color we're going to do here is this green. And the green is going to be from the end here down to that first line. kind of like that. Normally I do all the shafts on the same schedule. I do all white, all that first layer, and then I come in and do all the green and let it dry, and then I do all the orange and let it dry. And I'm going to move down here and do the green down here. It's going to be just the same. In this case, to show you, there we go. Okay, just a little bit more here. I got it a little thin. There we go. There's our green. Clean that brush off. Open the orange up. I'm going to do the orange. The orange is going to be over here. Originally this pattern was, this color scheme is meant to be the Irish flag. These are Irish arrows, but I know some folks, you know, Miami University's got these colors. There's a couple other colors like so. Alright, we got our green or orange, and now in the middle is going to stay white, but I'm going to go ahead and put another coat of white in that middle. Clean my brush again, get the white. I'm going to come in here and put it in the middle. Put it right up there to the... Just like that. Come over and do this one. Same thing. There we go. Clean my brush. And we're done with this brush. I'll put that in there. I'm going to turn this off, and we're going to take this one over here and hang it up, because now it has to dry for 2 hours. Now the last step is to do the highlights. And I've already got one ready here. It's got the colors on it, and it's ready to highlight. And this is the delicate part. I'm going to use a really fine brush here. I'm going to go ahead and close these other paints up. And we're going to do this with a silver color. Shake that up good. And that lid sometimes doesn't like to stay open, so I can fix that with some masking tape. Nothing you can't do without a little, with redneck engineering. I didn't notice I didn't use duct tape though there. Duct tape would have been a little bit overkill on that. Alright, got this shaft in here. We're going to do the highlights. And the highlights are basically breaks in between the main colors. And we're going to spin that shaft. Look at that shaft. See, that I did a pretty good job straightening them areas. Now we're going to come in here and get a little bit of this. And we'll come right here. And we'll put a little bit of a highlight right there. And we'll get a little more. Oh, got a little bit too much there. In here. Put a highlight right there, like that. And a little bit more. The highlight there. One on the end down here. Then come down here. Do the same thing down here. Alright, that one there's ready to dry now. Now once I get them all done, like this one, they'll get their last coat of sealant, and what that does, that goes over this watercolor, and it does not affect the watercolor at all. It goes over that watercolor, and it actually protects it from moisture. And it also makes it very shiny. So, when we get back, I'll have all these done, and they'll be dried and ready to put the final sealing on. Well, hello folks. Going to continue this. The cresting's finished. I did modify it, as you can see, a little bit. I extended the green on the bottom out here a little bit, and the reason I did that is I wanted to completely match the fletching, because the fletching is going to be spliced on these in the same colors. So that's the reason I did it. So now we're ready to give it another dip, or its final dip of sealant. Get our primer here and prime it again. And I need one glove. And the reason I use this glove, you do get a little bit of the sealant on your hands, but it's actually easier to hold the arrow. It gives you a little more grip. So we're going to go ahead and knock down in it first again. Down. Pull it out. And now the cresting's sealed. Because if you remember, it is watercolor. And if it do happen to get a little wet, well, now your watercolors won't run on you. Alright, there we are. Give these about a half hour to dry, and then we'll come back and move to the next step. Alright, here we are. We're back again. We're going to do the next step, and the next step in this process is the last check to make sure that these arrows are straight. And we'll just do it again. Ooh, that one is good. That is one straight arrow right there. Oh, that one's got something. Let's see where we at. Oh, right up here. Yeah, no. All right. I seem to be making it worse instead of better here. There we go, we got it that time. There we go. Yep, that was a good one. Yep. And the last one. There we go. All right, be back shortly with the next step. All right, we're back. Next step is to put the nocks on the shafts. And to do that, we've got a lot of sealer built up down here on the knock taper. So what we're going to do is we're going to take some of it off so that the nocks fit good. Basically just use my X-Acto knife and scrape it off. It doesn't take a whole lot. There we go. Now, next thing we want to do is find the grain in this arrow, and hopefully you can see it. See these little arrows pointing here? I picked this one just because it shows up real well. You want the knock hole to line up with those arrows. And that way, this is actually the spine of the arrow, and the spine will line up so that it flexes, because it's got to flex around the riser, and it'll flex around the riser the same every time. So now that we know where the knock's going to go, it's going to go in there just like that. To be in line with these arrows, we're going to apply a little glue. And I found that this Loctite Super Glue Gel Control is about the best thing in the world to put knocks on. And you don't need a whole lot. And basically put a little dab on there, put the knock on, and kind of rotate it around to spread it. Get it in position and then push tight for a couple of seconds. And then it's on there. Here, we'll do one more. Go ahead and scrape like we did the last one. And don't worry about that you're removing the sealer here on the knock end. When you put that super glue on it, believe you me, it will really seal that shaft up. Alright, got it scraped. Now we're going to find the grain again. Rotate the arrow. Now, this one's a little difficult. There it is. See it right there? In fact, you can see it, if you look real close, you can see it right here too. We're going to apply a little glue. And we're going to rotate it again. Get it in position and hold it on there. Okay, I'm going to finish these up and then we'll come back and do the next step in the process. Okay folks, we're back. The next step in this process is to get the feathers ready. These are going to be splice feathers, so we're going to have to do some splicing here. I know y'all have probably seen some of my splicing videos, but I'm going to go ahead and demonstrate at least one or two here. And the first thing we're going to do is get the white splices ready. So we're going to come in here and strip the feathers off of the quill. Follow it down like so. Okay, I'm gonna get it back together here a little bit and cut some of this off the back like so. Now the white splice is going to be 1/2 inch. And you can see my pattern here. Hopefully you can see it. So I come up here and I measure that feather off here by the pattern. Cut that white splice off. This is 6 arrows. We're going to have 18 of these. I'm not going to do all 18 of them, but I'll do a couple. Or at least I'm not going to do all 18 of them on the video here. Alright, so the white, there's your white. The next color is orange. And basically what I'm doing here, folks, is I'm building a feather that will match this cresting here. Get an orange feather out. Lay that off to the side. We're going to strip this orange feather off. Hope y'all enjoy Merle Haggard. There we go. Got the orange one off. Again, we're going to come in here and see where I was holding it and all. I kind of ruined that portion of it, so we're going to come in here and cut that off. Now the orange splice is going to be 1 inch. Come in here, cut it off. See, that's a 1 inch. Two. There's 3 of those. We'll need something up here. Alright, now let's get one of our green feathers. The main color is green. So I'm going to get some green ones out. I'll go ahead and get 1, 2, 3. We'll get 3 of them out of there. Lay that off to the side, throw that away. So we're going to come in here and we're going to strip this. Yeah, I thought that one was going to be a pain in the butt. Sometimes these, and it tends to be the color dye, I guess it's something to do with the colors. See, the skin is real brittle. Luckily, we're not going to reuse the feathers we're stripping off these, at least not on this project. I generally keep them if I, there we go. Well, no, broke off again. Well, I almost got enough of it stripped here. Alright. Now we're going to insert our knife where we want it to stop. Pull up and cut it off. Man, that one might make a splice, so we'll set that one off to the side. Alright. Now we're going to take our straight clamp here. Well, actually, I'm going to trim the skin on the right side of these. Like so. There we go. There we go. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take these and put them together like so. Drank too much coffee this morning, I can tell you that right now. My hands are shaky. Alright. Put it in the clamp. Make sure they're together. Get our tape. Well, got some dirt on that, so we're going to cut a piece of that off. Alright, come off my fingers. Now did it. This stuff is sticky, I tell you folks. Alright, now we're ready to go. I'm going to come in here and put that tape on there like that. Put it on there. Come here right at the end of it. Cut it off. Like so. Take the back of our X-Acto knife and rub it on good. Now we're going to peel the backing. Take it out. Put it where it needs to go. Just like that. Now we're going to press it down. Now we know that this is going to be the back. I want these to be the exact perfect length, all on the same length. So we're going to take the front off like so. Set that off there. Set this over to the side. Get the old chopper out here. Now we want to position this in here. See how it's positioned so it's, hope y'all can see that. I'm going to give it a whack. Got one little trailer there, and what we can do is you take that, and it didn't cut clean here, so we'll just take the scissors, and there you have it. Set that off to the side. Let's get this shaft up here and I'll show you. Okay, it's going to be just about perfect. Alright, I'll get the rest of those finished and we'll move forward. Welcome back, folks. Tell you what I did. I want to go ahead and get this video. I know a lot of people's waiting on this video to get finished. So all I did was go ahead and finish 3 of these feathers to show you how to fletch. So we're going to fletch these up. Got my Blitzenberger jig. Got one of the arrows in the jig, and we're going to take. Oh, I just noticed something on that feather right there. Needs to be cleaned up just a little bit. There we go. We're going to place the feather in the jig. Somewhere right about like that. And get the Fletch tape. And I swear by this Fletch tape. If you do have to refletch, it cleans up, the shaft will clean up a whole lot easier than if you glue it on. And I have found that it'll hold up just as good as glue, just as long as you don't leave them in the car or something in extreme heat. If you do leave them in the car in extreme heat, it will affect the tape. Go in here and rub it down again. Peel it. Now I want to line this up, and I don't know if you can see it or not, but I'm going to line it up so that the white matches. I'm going to set it down on there like so. Make sure it's on there good. There you have it. See how it matches up? Go ahead and give the jig a turn. Put the next one in there. Like that. I cut it with the X-Acto knife first time. You can also come in here and cut it with the scissors too. Get the X-Acto knife, get it on there, go ahead and strip it off, get it lined up, press it on. There's 2. Let's get the last one on there. Same thing. Start your tape. Just like so. And I got this started just as my CD stopped, so we don't have no music in the background this go around. Cut it off. Roll it on. Peel the backing. Get it positioned like that. Now this one here has a little gap in here. I can see. I don't know if you can see it. Don't want that, so we'll take the knife and make sure it's on there good, just like so. Take it off. Now feathers are on there. As you can see, they match pretty good with the cresting. Now last step here is to take some Fletch Type Platinum, and what we're going to do is we're going to put a little dab right on the end of each one of here. And also on this end, and that's to lock them feathers in. Alright, so there you have it. There's a fletched custom arrow. We'll let that glue dry, and then we'll come back and do the final step. Okay, we're back for the final step here. Well, that is, if you don't count boxing them up and getting them in the mailbox. Final step is basically to put the point on, and we're going to do one of them here, and the same thing as I did with the knock-in. I like to come in here and scrape some of this sealing off. Just like so. And the reason I do that is, I've completely lost faith in all the hot glues that are out there currently. I don't know what the deal is with the hot glues, but hot glue is just not holding the points on. I got folks losing a lot of points. So within the last 6 months, I tried something new, and let's go ahead and use this here Loctite super glue again. And it seems to be working real well. And what I've also found out is that if you heat it with an alcohol lamp, just like this one, you can take the point off. You might have to heat it just a little more than you would with the hot glue, but it'll come right off of there. So we're going to apply some glue. Make sure we got it all the way around. And we're going to take the point, insert it in there, twist it around, get the glue going, and then I'm going to use the edge of the thing here and just push. And I'll hold it on there like so. And now it's on there. And folks, that's it. There's your finished arrow. I'm going to finish up and get the other 5 of these done, and make sure they're in the mail to the winner of my last contest. So y'all have a good one, and if you have any questions, make sure you go ahead and contact me. Contact information's at the end of the video. Thanks a lot. Bye.